Welcome back to another episode of Who Got the Aux. My previous episode, if you missed it, I discussed 3 guaranteed behaviors for unstoppable confidence. Oh, snap. My headphones. for unstoppable confidence while creating content. If you missed that episode, you feel free to check it out before you start this one or after you finish this one. All is appreciated. This episode, as the title said, is LeBron James the GOAT? The greatest of all time. The barbershop debates, LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, is usually those 3, right? First off, congratulations to LeBron James. Last night he broke the all-time scoring record in the NBA over Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Amazing accomplishment. Historic, none the least, but we live in a time where things like that just aren't appreciated, right? And that usually comes with this GOAT debate. So I'll answer that question first. Do I think LeBron James is the GOAT? I don't care. I'm not the guy sitting here debating sports, athletes, this GOAT stuff. I really think it's a waste of time to do it, but I mean, I'm sure the players appreciate it. It keeps their legacy alive. I'm sure. I got to switch this back over. I thought it would work over here. For those of you not watching my headphone, I guess we have to leave it like this for now. People have too much technology. People have too much access to information, and this is the gift or the curse of access to information, right? Because now you can go, well, such as his stats is 56%. About the time he was 24, he already had this. When he was 28 and he retired at 35, you're still playing 42, and the percentages, and this is like, how can that be fun as a real NBA fan? Like you said, I've been a Grizzlies fan, an NBA, following the NBA team for like, when did I announce it? 2019? It's about 4 years now. And it's just, I treat it like football. Like, I'm just following my team. When they win, they win. When they show out, they show out. When they lose, we figure out what needs to work. You know, Grizzlies was on a 3-4 game losing streak before beating, I forgot who they beat recently. But the debate stuff, I never understood it because you can't really have a valid debate, right? You have different time periods, different rules, different athletes, different perspectives, different everything, but people still do it. So I don't care who y'all think is the GOAT, but I do want to, have a different standpoint from this debate, a different viewpoint maybe. And maybe this has already been discussed, but I don't really follow all the arguments. So excuse me if this isn't new, but evolution is the word that comes to mind. Evolution is the word that comes to mind. Humans evolving, right? So, of course, it's LeBron versus Jordan as far as the debate, or LeBron and Kobe, depending on what it is. And I would have to say Jordan played in the 90s. LeBron's playing in the 2000s, right? Is it safe to say that from Jordan's era to LeBron era, that sports science has evolved? Meaning the way an athlete recovers, the training, not only that they're getting at an NBA level, that they're getting at an AAU level, at a Pop Warner level, the fuel that goes into the body, the knowledge that ones have from the 90s. Just think about us I'm a 90s kid. Think about what we were eating, what we were taught, what we knew as non-athletes, just individuals, compared to what we're doing now. I'll speak for myself. A lot of junk food, a lot of random meats, bologna, hot dogs, and fast foods, whole milk. Milk does a body good, cereals, a lot of sugar. You wonder why, the culture has diabetes. Fast forward to now, with the technology, with the science, with the knowledge, with the access to information, almond milk, sugar-free this, fat-free this, turkey meat this. You get what I'm saying? So as a regular individual, we've made leaps and bounds on how we feel our body. From training in the gym. Before, bench, squat, some deadlifts and some dumbbell. Now you got, doing this. You go in the gym now, people doing all type of stuff and moves with cables and ropes and resistant bands. So even as a non-superior athletic individual, we've changed the way we approach our health. So it's safe to say that an athlete of his caliber, Jordan and LeBron, that by default, Not saying who's better or not, but by default, LeBron has the advantage because of just being in the future compared to Jordan's era. So there's technology, there's supplements, there's vitamins, there's regimens, there's science, there's all this information that would make a better athlete today than it would back in the 90s. I think that's a fair argument, right? And I think, geez, should got some water up here. I think one of the things about the debate, the viewpoint that I have that messes up people because they would just want to go back and forth is when I speak on these things, nothing's getting taken away from Jordan, right? Everything y'all say about Jordan is true. High flying, 6 rings, 6 out of 6, killer instinct, whatever you say, winner, best team, greatest team, all that. Nobody's saying anything about that. No one's going to take it away. And I think that's where the debate gets confused, like, or at least to me. What I'm saying is, factually speaking, evolution occurs. So these athletes are faster than they were in the 90s. They're stronger than they were in the 90s. They can jump higher. They can shoot further. You got Steph Curry, is the greatest shooter of all time, playing at the same time with LeBron, who has the most points of all time. Playing with somebody like Russell Westbrook, who broke the triple-double record. Playing with somebody, you get what I'm saying? Like Giannis, who's 6'8", running point guard. Luka, 6'8", dribbling, dunking, shooting threes. Dirk was shooting threes. Joel Embiid could shoot a 3. He's a big man like Shaq, but he got free throws and could shoot 3. You get like, that's just what's supposed to happen. From iPhone 4 to iPhone 13, someone could sit here as a iPhone enthusiast and go, man, it was nothing like the 4 but 13, you got 4K cameras, you got zoom in, you got panoramic, you got all this techie stuff. That's what's supposed to happen. It's supposed to get better. Again, not taken away, not saying anything. I'm just speaking logically, right? So to the sports science part, and then, there's always the toughness. The rules are different now. Like before, you get popped in the lane and you can get slammed down and fighting, and the refs wasn't as soft. And now it's more driven from a business standpoint to score more points. Football and basketball, that's what the fans want to see. People don't want to see defensive battles, low scoring games. Cool. One, that's a company thing. That's not the player's fault, right? That's not LeBron, Dame, Russell, KD, Steph. That's not their fault. They're just playing in the era they're playing in. That's a business move, football and basketball. But then at the same time, I think about, we sit here and say, it's not rough, it's not real. But then that's the main things we want to get away from. Like, we want to protect the players. Like when we see Steph get a hard foul or drive into the lane, or, we start calling these players dirty when they hit them or when they bump them. They get called dirty. They get called, there's a brotherhood here. At the end of the day, we all got to feed our kids. Why would you go for them and go? It's like, so what is it? You know what I'm saying? Is it a brotherhood? Are we protecting each other? Are we making sure we all get a bag so we can feed our families at the end of the day? Or are we trying to be old school and knock people on their heads and don't care, don't talk to them? That's the other thing. Like, these athletes talk to each other and blah, blah. It's just like, it's so fickle. That's why I don't participate in the debates, and it amazes me. Like, even now, you wake up this morning and they say LeBron is stat padding, and I was like, I laughed at that. I was like, even the notion of saying that LeBron James is stat padding stats in the NBA. Think about that. What do they say? The dude on the lowest part, the end of the bench, player number 14, can bust up anybody in any gym in any world. That's just how talented the NBA is. I could be wrong, but I'm mistaken. But I'm sure I've heard this from like people who really know the sport. They like, don't get it twisted. That dude who's number 13, G League, whatever, he can bust up the average player, right? So if you're saying that it's a league full of the superior basketball players from all over, by the way, I think our top players like Embiid, Jokic, the Joker, Luka, these are all foreign players. Giannis, these aren't American. So it's worldwide talent. And you're saying that this guy is able to pad stats against worldwide talent. Some teams with 2 worldwide talent players, or at his age, at 38, 39. That I think that says a lot more about his greatness than about the league. And then the last thing I'll leave it at is I don't think people give enough credit to his competition, right? So when you go like Magic and Bird and they all knew they knew Jordan was that next dude, it seems like it comes off like that because they're all in the Hall of Fame, right? So it's like if all these Hall of Famers are co-signing this guy, then he must be the guy. Well, one, we weren't living in the internet age during that time, in a statistical age where everybody had access to stats and all that. So nobody was really able to pinpoint like they do now. One, but two, is it safe to say, again, basketball people can correct me, but not really because y'all kind of crazy. Is it safe to say that Steph, Hall of Fame, KD, Hall of Fame, Jokic, young career, seems like Hall of Fame, Luka, possibly Hall of Fame, Dame, Russell, hell, you throw Clay, Hall of Fame. I'm just trying to think of the teams. Derrick Rose before the injury possibly could have been a Hall of Fame player. Embiid on track to be a Hall of Fame player. Giannis on track to be a Hall of Fame player. I'm just literally going off the top of the head. Ja, he's young. On track. I'm saying on track because it's still early in their career. Ja could be a Hall of Fame player. Any teams I'm missing? The Pistons got some guys. San Antonio, Kawhi, Paul George. My point is, they all are saying that, some are saying he's the GOAT because they're young, Jason Tatum, and some are saying he's one of the great. So what happens when they go Hall of Fame 30 years from now when they're 50s and 60s? They're like, dang, Steph said LeBron was the dude. KD co-signed him. You get what I'm saying? Like it's perspective of the time. But all those players I named, because we live in the age of the internet now, I maybe it happens with football, but maybe I never noticed. But with basketball, I noticed it. Like every game, everything gets grinded. Steph Curry could do something like, he's just throwing a. Somebody else could do something great. The rules are different now. Somebody else do something great. But it took him 10 years. Such and such broke the record in 7. The 3 points, the rebound. And it's like, cool. I'm going to end this podcast, and usually how I end these conversations, I've never been part of, but if I was I'm just a fan of greatness. And that's what I don't understand about a lot of people that complain these days. Like, I think it's cool that I'm living in an era where we saw Kobe's career. We're seeing a LeBron career. We saw Steph Curry's career. We're seeing his career becoming the greatest three-point shooter. We're seeing LeBron become the greatest scorer. And I'm keeping it in basketball, but I have the same feel for football. We saw Russell Westbrook do the triple-double. We're seeing these athletes. We're seeing teams like Milwaukee win, Cleveland get their first win, Toronto getting the win, Golden State Dynasty, Kyrie. I didn't even name Kyrie, another possible Hall of Famer based off how his career go. We're just seeing greatness. Just people putting up 50 points and 20 rebounds. Just ridiculous, right? And I just appreciate it. I'm a Memphis Grizzly fan. I am a Memphis Grizzly fan. But I can look and go, wow, LeBron's great. Wow, Steph Curry, that whole little beef that the Golden State Warriors and Grizzlies have. Cool. But at the end of the day, Steph, Clay, Draymond, these are great Hall of Fame players. At the end of the day, you call it what it is, right? So yeah, I don't know. I think I might be too logical for this sport. But to wrap it up, the GOAT debate, it's to each his own. Everybody loves Jordan, and guess what? There's people who think Kobe is the GOAT. There's people who think Wilt is the GOAT, Magic is the GOAT, Bird is the GOAT, LeBron is the GOAT, and they all have fair points. Oscar Robertson could be someone's GOAT. Allen Iverson could be someone's GOAT. It could go on and on and on, bro. As long as it's your GOAT to you, that's what matters. And I know that's kind of boring, and it gets rid of the barbershop talk and all the emotional debates, but it's fun when you debate, but then these Jordan debates, like, it be getting too personal and serious, and people just, they start coming at you like, man, you think LeBron, you don't know. It's like, whoa. We can argue about the players and the sports. Let's keep it there. Let's not go outside of there, but it happens all the time. So, hey man, I love greatness. I figure I just throw some logical things out there. I already know what's going to happen is if this video, when this podcast blows up, people are going to stack. Yeah, 50% Jordan, 40%, 20%, 15%. He was 3 for 3, 6 for 6, 9 for 9. 40 for Jordan. It was tougher, and they pushed, and they were able to fight. And now, you can't touch somebody, or person fouled and flopped, and everybody's flopping. I hear you. I hear you. I really do. You're passionate about it, so you have every right to win the argument, because I'm not. So I'm never going to even go that far with you. But yeah, congrats to LeBron. I feel like, I won't say honored, but I feel pretty dope. Like in my 30s, we've had all these catastrophic things happen in the world during our time. It's cool to have like some great sports stuff. Brady on the other side, 45, 7 super. Like, it's just appreciate what's happening in your time. Start living in the past. You can appreciate the past, respect the past. They laid the foundation. They paved the way, 100%. But like, this is our time now. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel bad for the people that are like, it was great back then, but this is our time. Like, even if it was, this is our time now. Appreciate the music that's out and whatever. You can find good stuff and everything, but this is your time. You're letting your time waste because you're trying to show that you're official by only co-signing old school. Like, anything new school is just for the kids. Like, nah, man, it's our time. At one point when Kobe came in, he was young and new. He wasn't Jordan and Pippen and all them. He was young and new. It was for the kids, us. See what I'm saying? It just keeps happening. So just, enjoy greatness. Enjoy it. Or debate. Do what you want. But that's my 2 cents on it. Thank you for listening to another episode of Who Got the Aux. Full episodes can be listened on WhoGotTheAux.com. Who Got the Aux, one word, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Follow, subscribe, like, share, dislike, comment. I appreciate all the interactions and impressions. TikTok, I don't know if I said that. And Who Got the Aux _ on Twitter. Again, I appreciate all the love. And yeah, man, continue to have y'all debates and y'all talks. I just wanted to chime in with my 2 cents. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here because I ain't got time for that basketball bull crap. I will see y'all at the next episode. I'm out.